Yo, yo, yo! What's up, beautiful people? It's your man, James, back with another story. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of Africa, to a country that's near and dear to my heart, a country that knows how to throw a party and fight for its freedom, a country with more flavor than a jollof rice competition. Yeah, you guessed it. Ghana. We're about to embark on a presidential safari, a journey through time to meet the men who've steered the ship of this great nation since it broke free from the shackles of colonialism. From the revolutionary firebrands to the smooth-talking diplomats, we're going to meet them all. So buckle up, grab your fufu, and get ready to laugh, learn, and maybe shed a tear or two. Because you know what they say, to understand Ghana's present, you've got to understand its past. First up, we're kicking it old school with the big OG himself, Kwame Nkrumah. This dude wasn't just Ghana's first president. He was like the George Washington, the Nelson Mandela, and the Gandhi of India all rolled into one. This brother was educated, eloquent, and ready to throw down for his people. Nkrumah knew that education was power, so he went and got himself a couple of degrees from Lincoln University in America. Shout out to HBCUs. He came back to Ghana armed with knowledge and a burning desire to kick colonialism to the curb, and kick it he did.
Ghana led the way to independence in 1957, becoming the first sub-Saharan African nation to break free from European rule. We were out there paving the way, showing the rest of the continent how it's done.
But Nkrumah wasn't just about that independence life. He was all about Pan-African unity. He envisioned a United States of Africa, a continent free from colonial influence, standing tall and proud on the world stage. Sadly, Nkrumah's vision wasn't shared by everyone. He faced opposition at home and abroad, and in 1966, while he was out of the country, a military coup put an end to his rule. Now, after Nkrumah's overthrow, things in Ghana got a little, shall we say, complicated. It was like a political game of musical chairs, with military leaders and interim governments popping up left and right. Fasten your seatbelts, folks, because we're about to enter the era of coups. First up, we got Major General Joseph Arthur Ankara, the man who led the charge against Nkrumah.
I promised to restore economic stability and bring back multi-party democracy, but my time in power was short-lived.
Then came General Akwasi Afrifa, who overthrew Ankara in 1969. Afrifa tried to tackle the country's economic woes, but he too faced resistance and was eventually ousted in another coup. The man was later executed, which is a whole other story.
I did my best to address the economic challenges, but the resistance was strong.
After Afrifa, we had Edward Akufo-Addo, the father of Ghana's current president. He served as a ceremonial president, trying to bring some normalcy back to the country.
My goal was to restore stability and bring a sense of normalcy, but my rule was also cut short by yet another coup.
It seemed like every time Ghana tried to find its footing, another military leader would step in and hit the reset button. It was a time of great uncertainty and instability, and the Ghanaian people were yearning for a leader who could bring lasting peace and progress. Hold on tight, because the roller coaster of Ghanaian politics is about to take another turn. In 1972, Colonel Ignatius Kutu Acheampong seized power in yet another military coup. Acheampong promised to revive the economy and fight corruption, but his methods were often seen as authoritarian and repressive. He introduced something called Operation Feed Yourself, which aimed to boost agricultural production and reduce reliance on foreign imports. Sounds like a good idea, right? Well, the implementation was a little rough around the edges, and the economy continued to struggle. To make matters worse, Ghana was hit by a severe drought in the mid-1970s, leading to widespread famine and hardship. Acheampong's popularity plummeted, and in 1978 he was overthrown by his own colleague, General Frederick Akufo. Akufo tried to clean up the mess left by Acheampong, but his rule was short-lived. In 1979, a group of junior military officers, led by a certain charismatic and outspoken flight lieutenant, staged a coup that would change the course of Ghanaian history. Hold on to your hats, folks, because things are about to get real. In 1979, a young and fiery Air Force officer named Jerry John Rawlings burst onto the scene like a thunderbolt, leading a revolution that would shake Ghana to its core.
Rawlings and his Armed Forces Revolutionary Council weren't messing around. We saw a country riddled with corruption, inequality, and economic mismanagement, and we were determined to clean house by any means necessary.
Rawlings' revolution was like a political hurricane sweeping away the old guard and promising a fresh start for Ghana. He railed against corruption, calling for accountability and transparency in government. He wanted to empower the people, to give them a voice in how their country was run.
But, my methods were controversial, to say the least. I ordered the execution of several former heads of state, including Achiampong and Akufo, for their alleged crimes against the state.
These executions, while shocking to some, were seen by many as a necessary evil, a way to break free from the cycle of corruption and impunity that had plagued Ghana for so long. Rawlings' first stint in power was brief but intense. After just 4 months, he handed over power to a civilian government, but his impact was undeniable. He had awakened a spirit of revolution in Ghana, a yearning for change and a refusal to accept the status quo. Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the political waters, Rawlings made a comeback. In 1981, he seized power again, arguing that the civilian government had failed to address the country's deep-seated problems. This time, he was here to stay, for a while anyway.
Rawlings 2.0 was a different beast. I toned down the revolutionary rhetoric and focused on economic reforms and national reconciliation. I realized that you can't run a country on fiery speeches alone. You need concrete plans, and I, to my credit, started to deliver.
He introduced economic liberalization policies, loosening the grip of the state on the economy and encouraging private investment. He also worked to improve infrastructure, education, and healthcare. But Rawlings wasn't about to let go of power that easily. He ruled with an iron fist, suppressing dissent and consolidating his authority.
My critics accused me of human rights abuses and authoritarianism, but my supporters praised me for bringing stability and progress to Ghana.
After years of military rule, Ghanaians were ready for a taste of democracy, and Rawlings, sensing the changing times, decided to give the people what they wanted. In 1992, a new constitution was adopted, ushering in Ghana's Fourth Republic, the period of multi-party democracy that continues to this day.
Now, I could have easily clung to power, but to everyone's surprise, I decided to play by the rules. I formed a political party, the National Democratic Congress, and ran for president in the 1992 elections, which, to the surprise of absolutely no one, I won.
Rawlings' victory marked a turning point in Ghanaian history. Here was a former military ruler, once feared for his revolutionary zeal, now submitting himself to the will of the people. It was a sign that Ghana was truly committed to democracy, even if it meant electing the guy who used to lock people up for disagreeing with him.
I won a second term in 1996, proving that my popularity wasn't just a fluke. I oversaw a period of relative peace and economic growth, and by the time I stepped down in 2001, Ghana was hailed as a beacon of democracy in Africa.
Chapter 7. The Kufuor Era, a new millennium, a new Ghana. With Rawlings riding off into the sunset, or at least into retirement, Ghana was ready for a change of pace. Enter John Agyekum Kufuor, a soft-spoken but shrewd politician who promised to bring a new style of leadership to Ghana. Kufuor, representing the new Patriotic Party, won the 2000 presidential election, marking the first peaceful transfer of power from one democratically elected government to another in Ghana's history. It was a huge moment, a sign that democracy was finally taking root in Ghanaian soil. Kufuor's presidency was marked by economic growth, infrastructure development, and a commitment to good governance. He implemented policies that attracted foreign investment, boosted tourism, and improved access to education and healthcare. He also played a key role in regional peace and security initiatives, mediating conflicts in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Côte d'Ivoire. Under Kufuor's leadership, Ghana's star was on the rise, and the country was becoming a model for democratic development in Africa. Chapter 8. Atta Mills, the Professor Takes Charge. In 2008, the political pendulum swung back in favor of the NDC as John Evans Atta Mills, a law professor and former vice president, narrowly defeated the NPP candidate in a closely contested election. Mills, known for his calm demeanor and intellectual prowess, promised to continue the good work started by Kufuor, while also addressing issues of poverty, inequality, and corruption. Mills's presidency was marked by a focus on social justice and inclusive development. He implemented programs to expand access to education, healthcare, and social safety nets for the poor and vulnerable. He also took steps to strengthen Ghana's democratic institutions, promoting transparency and accountability in government. However, Mill's tenure was cut short in 2012 when he tragically passed away while in office, becoming the first Ghanaian president to die while serving his term. His death sent shockwaves through the nation, and tributes poured in from around the world, mourning the loss of a respected leader and a champion of democracy. Chapter 9. The Mahama Interlude. Continuing a legacy. Following Mill's untimely death, his vice president, John Dramani Mahama, stepped up to the plate, becoming president in line with Ghana's constitution. Mahama, a charismatic and youthful leader, vowed to continue Mills's legacy of social democracy and inclusive development. Mahama faced a number of challenges during his time in office, including a global economic slowdown, a decline in commodity prices. Ghana is a major exporter of cocoa and gold, and a power crisis that led to frequent blackouts. Despite these challenges, Mahama remained committed to his predecessor's vision, investing in infrastructure projects, expanding access to education and healthcare, and promoting job creation. He also oversaw the discovery of new oil reserves off Ghana's coast, raising hopes for future economic growth and prosperity. However, these hopes were tempered by concerns about corruption, mismanagement, and the equitable distribution of oil revenues. In 2016, Ghanaians headed to the polls once again, and this time the wind of change blew in favor of the opposition NPP. Nana Akufo-Addo, the son of former President Edward Akufo-Addo, defeated incumbent John Mahama in a closely contested election, marking the NPP's return to power after 8 years. Akufo-Addo campaigned on a platform of economic transformation, promising to create jobs, boost industrialization, and make Ghana a hub for trade and investment. He also pledged to tackle corruption, improve education, and expand access to healthcare. Since taking office, Akufo-Addo has implemented a number of flagship programs, including Free Senior High School, which provides free secondary education to all Ghanaian children, and One District, One Factory, which aims to stimulate industrial growth and create jobs in rural areas. He is also focused on strengthening Ghana's democratic institutions, promoting good governance, and fighting corruption. As Ghana continues its democratic journey, it faces a number of challenges, both internal and external. The country is grappling with high levels of poverty, inequality, and unemployment, particularly among young people. Corruption remains a major concern, eroding public trust and hindering economic development. Climate change is also posing significant threats to Ghana, with rising sea levels, droughts, and floods impacting agriculture, livelihoods, and food security. Ghana, like many other countries in the world, is also navigating the complex geopolitical landscape, balancing its relationships with traditional partners like the United States and Europe, with emerging powers like China and Russia. Despite these challenges, Ghana remains a beacon of hope and democracy in Africa. Its commitment to peaceful elections, respect for human rights, and pursuit of economic development serves as an inspiration to other countries in the region and beyond. As we've seen, Ghana's journey since independence has been a roller coaster ride of highs and lows, triumphs and setbacks. But through it all, the Ghanaian people have shown resilience, determination, and an unwavering belief in their country's potential. From the revolutionary fervor of Kwame Nkrumah to the democratic reforms of Jerry Rawlings, from the economic progress under John Kufuor to the social democratic vision of John Atta Mills, Ghana has been led by a diverse group of individuals, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Today, Ghana stands at a crossroads, poised to embrace the opportunities and challenges of the 21st century. With its youthful population, abundant natural resources, and strategic location in West Africa, Ghana has the potential to become a true powerhouse on the continent and beyond. The future of Ghana, like any other nation, rests in the hands of its people. If Ghanaians can harness their collective wisdom, creativity, and entrepreneurial spirit, there is no limit to what they can achieve. So there you have it, folks, a whirlwind tour of Ghana's presidential history. We've laughed, we've learned, and maybe even shed a tear or two along the way. But most importantly, we've gained a deeper understanding of this amazing country and its journey from colonialism to democracy. Ghana's story is a testament to the power of the human spirit, the enduring strength of democracy, and the importance of never giving up hope. As Ghana continues to write its next chapter, let us celebrate its achievements, learn from its mistakes, and support its aspirations for a brighter future. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay beautiful. Peace out.